Hello everyone, I am Alice Wardomsk. I am glad to welcome you to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to breathe new life into long-term relationships. Even when people have been living together for 20 years or more, it is still possible to maintain novelty, feelings, passion, love, emotions, and the brightness of shared life in a relationship. The main thing is just your desire to do it. After all, sometimes we are just too lazy. Laziness to do something. We often wait for something from our partner. We wait for the man to make the first move, to invite us on a date, to give flowers. But when you do nothing, often the man doesn't need it either. In fact, it simply becomes boring for two people in a relationship. Forget that they love each other. Their feelings dull, and they do not understand how strong their feelings have become. But in order for a relationship to be bright, happy and strong, and for that novelty not to fade, it only takes just a little work on the relationship. So in this video, we will talk about how to maintain a relationship, let's say for a long period of time, but still without routine, without the feeling of constant routine, without a sense of heaviness in the relationship, but rather to maintain a relationship with happiness and to preserve that state of being in love, like when you rushed to your man for a date at the beginning of the relationship, when you held hands, when you smiled at each other, when you dreamed together. So all of this can be done together even after 20 and 30 years of living together. 30 years of living together. 30 years of living together. 30 years of living together, 30 years of life. So, first thing is stability. Stability is not always good. We all want stability. Our brain feels comfortable when things are stable. The brain needs to know what, how, and when. So this stable comfort often kills relationships. It simply becomes boring and uninteresting. When a person is bored, they feel bad. Therefore, add some playfulness to your relationship. Do some experiments. Go to unfamiliar places together. Arrange romantic dinners. Invite your man on a date. Send him a letter, for example, to work with an invitation for a date. Do something that you have never done. A man will quickly get involved in this game because he will like it. He will want to make a counter move. That is, he sees your efforts. He sees what you are doing for the relationship. He feels pleased and he experiences some new emotions in old relationships, so to speak. And he wants to do something in return for you. Don't expect that a man will start a little clarification. If the relationship is important to you, then you don't need to say that why do I need all this alone? So, if you want a happy relationship, but there is some deadly boredom in the relationship, and neither of you is interested in shared life anymore, start doing something yourself. The man will get involved. Next. Cult of the child is actually very bad for relationships. Now is the time when parents are very focused on their children. And it's great when parents are passionate about their children and when they are developing them. But it shouldn't be made into a cult. A husband and wife are the people who will be by each other's side until their last breath. And children are just guests in our home. So of course it is necessary to provide children with a good future, help them get on their feet, learn, and so on. But don't forget about yourself. Don't forget that there is a partner next to you who needs love, affection, and attention. Often, when a child is born in a family and a woman shifts all her attention solely to the child, the man experiences jealousy and a feeling of being unnecessary, that he has taken a back seat. And often it is during this period that infidelities arise, or even families may break apart. So make time. There is always a way to do this. The main thing is to have the desire. When we have the desire, we seek opportunities. If there is no desire, we usually look for excuses. So if you have the desire to maintain a happy relationship, you will find the time just for the two of you. You can always leave a small child with a grandmother, aunt, friend, or nanny for a few hours. Go out with your husband, perhaps go on a date in the evening and spend time together. Show a man that he is dear to you and that you love him. A man responds to such actions in kind. That is, if you walk around the house dissatisfied, angry that you are tired with the child and everything is bad for you, a man perceives this only as a fact that he cannot make you happy. When you present yourself as a happy woman, even in some difficulties, but you do not forget to love your man, to show him some signs of attention, he responds to you in kind. That is, he sees that his woman is happy, he wants to invest, he wants to open up for you to make you even happier. It is very important for a man that a woman laughs, that a woman smiles. It is, a man has some kind of built-in function inside He understands that if a woman is laughing next to him, it means he is entertaining her properly. So, if you can keep that laughter in yourself, not get bogged down in all these difficulties, not mentally push yourself into some victim role and pour it all over with such a sauce of, oh, I'm poor and unhappy, but manage to preserve yourself, your happiness, there will be a man next to you who will see that you are like this, and he will care more and enjoy, of course, such a woman. Touches. Don't forget to touch each other and cherish the moments. Hugs. Greet your man when he comes home from work. Hug him. See him off to work. Hug him. When we touch each other, hormones are produced, happiness hormones. And at that moment, people become closer to each other. They develop strong feelings. When people stop hugging and touching each other, they actually grow distant. So even if we're going through a difficult period right now, and perhaps you have some quarrels, conflicts, and you have forgotten when you last hugged your man, just go up and hug him. Start with this. Observe the reaction. When you touch, when a man feels the hug and you hug, at that moment, both people feel, well, they feel good. They experience wonderful feelings. Therefore, the more hugs, the better, of course. Touch each other more often to not lose that invisible connection that binds partners. Next. Attachment based on confidence. That is, there is attachment based on insecurity. When a woman is afraid of losing her man, afraid that he will leave, she is afraid to be completely open with the man. And this is not good in relationships. Let's take attachment based on confidence as a basis. What does this mean? I feel comfortable sharing my thoughts, feelings, and experiences with my man. That is, you can open your soul to your partner. You can lay everything out as it is. That is, something upset you. You were scared of something. You might feel bad or perhaps very good, but you are not afraid to talk about it with your partner. You can open your soul, and even if you haven't done this before, just try it once. At that moment, when you open your soul to your partner, he sees sincerity and he wants to do the same. The man next to you is your mirror, and believe me, the men who come into a woman's life are exactly those who reflect her current state. When you change your state, your inner state, the man's attitude towards you changes as well. Next, I am certainly not worried that my partner will leave me. There are women who have a constant fear of men leaving, cheating, or acting, and this again is not good because often their fears come to life. Very often what we fear happens, and we create it ourselves with our own hands. When a woman fears something, she seems to push the man towards her fear. Do not be afraid that a man will leave you. Focus on yourself instead. When you are not in a state of fear that something will happen, but live your life, enjoy yourself, your development, some hobbies, and share this with your partner, you become interesting to him. Of course, he will never leave you. Therefore, it is necessary to shift your focus from your fears to your soul, your desires, your hobbies. When you think about what you want now, what interests you, what you would like to do, what would bring you pleasure, and when you start doing this for yourself, the man, again, gets involved in this game and begins to do something for you as well, which will make you increasingly happy, more smiling, more joyful. When you make yourself unhappy, a man only emphasizes your state and makes the unhappy feel even more so. Next, self-sufficiency. I have already started talking about self-sufficiency in this point. When a woman is busy with her own activities, her hobbies, she is interesting, she has something to say, she is fulfilled. Of course, next to such an interesting woman, there will be an interesting man who will not look elsewhere because he will always want to explore this interesting woman. He will want to court her and be in this wonderful field. A man comes for a woman's energy. When woman is self-sufficient, interesting, and passionate, a man feels good in her field and he becomes the same next to her. He also develops, he also becomes self-sufficient and interesting. So mentally retreat into your interest. Think about what you want. Dream. Wish for something. Go towards your desires. And your life will be family-oriented. Life will be much brighter and more colorful. Moving on. There is no self-criticism. We often live either in the future or in the past. We often forget about the present. We can be in the present and mentally just berate ourselves for some wrong words, destroy ourselves, like, why did I do that? And replay the same thought in our heads 100 times. Or why didn't I do that? Well, the past is the past. You need to accept it at the moment when you experienced a situation and made certain decisions. Those were your decisions in the past. You needed to accept them for some lessons, for your own development. So, when you constantly oppress yourself for something, you become unhappy. And naturally, your family and your man feel this, like, if you feel really bad and don't know how to deal with this past. With this situation, write down all this painful situation on a piece of paper. Describe in the smallest details your feelings, what happened, just in the form of a story. Write everything that comes to mind about that situation. Pour your pain onto the paper. Next, imagine that this is not your situation, but for example, your friend's situation, that this situation happened not to you, but to your friend. Detach yourself a little. Think about what you would say to your friend in this situation. We often see a situation quite differently from the outside than when we are involved ourselves. So, what would you say to your friend in this situation? Write down these words. So everything you said to your friend in this situation, you said to yourself, read your advice to yourself. It is the most effective. That is what you told her. Will help you, so to speak, to cross out this problem and move on. Go on dates. Don't forget to go on dates with your man, even if you... For example, if you can't go to a restaurant right now, perhaps due to some financial difficulties, you can always arrange a date at home, cook some dinner, play soft music, light candles, and dress up. And, of course, this evening will be completely different. Not like an ordinary evening when the wife cooks, the husband watches TV, and all this monotony has become boring. Organize a date yourself. A date that your man will arrange for you is not far off. And it is precisely these moments that hold family life together. When we do something good for each other. We don't wait. Lyrical music. Give me. I want to take something from you. I want to snatch something from you. When we so desire for a man to do something for us, do. The man also appears and wants her to do something for him. Do. When we want to give something, want to do something nice with love, want to court, want to create some kind of atmosphere. This giving of something beautiful, good, and when we do it with love, in response, the man does the same. He truly wants to give us something special, to share something meaningful with us. So indeed, don't be that person who only wants to take and waits for something to be presented to him on a little plate with a blue rim. Do something yourself. Don't wait for the man to get off the couch and start courting you, while you so desire romance. If you see that this isn't working, for example, for several years already, with yourself, want the man to give you flowers, buy yourself a bouquet and enjoy it and be happy. Enjoy yourself with him. The man will see how your eyes shine and will want to give you flowers. Do what you truly want to receive in your life. Next, do together what makes your heart beat faster. This can remarkably shake up the relationship when you have stability, boredom, and it seems that everything is bad and nothing is interesting and exciting. Try going together to some attractions, extreme sports. Go down the wild and raging river in these boats and experience the thrill. Jump together with parachutes. Do what make you feel young, vibrant, and full of energy. When your heart beats faster, meaning you chose something extreme, go to a concert, perhaps of a favorite band. When your hearts beat faster, the brain starts to think that this is the state of being in love. That you feel good together, and these feelings make people remember how much they love each other. Perhaps they have already forgotten about it. So perhaps go for some extreme sports, some active events, or maybe concerts. Walks, arrange a day for yourself where you change many different places with different emotions. And of course, it makes you shake things up and see each other again, to look at each other with new eyes. Be spontaneous. What kills relationships the most is this calmness, this routine, the monotony. But when you spontaneously plan to go somewhere, to fly away, to head out, to go somewhere, a spontaneous outing, spontaneously getting ready for a date without planning anything, spontaneously going somewhere together. We went spontaneously, just left for another city to walk around. And this spontaneity gives that sense of novelty, which often leaves long-term relationships. And lastly, sleep together. This is actually very important. And people often forget and neglect this moment because they might feel uncomfortable. And it's more comfortable to sleep alone. But hugs and sleep, touching each other, this is a kind of ritual. A couple together, they sleep together, they touch each other at night, they turn, hug each other, cuddle when it's cold, when it's hot. They might throw a leg or an arm over each other, but this is family, this is feeling, this is the sense that you are not alone, that your loved one is nearby, so sleep together. Try under no circumstances to sleep in different beds or under different blankets. That's all for this video. I was Alisa Vardomska. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell, and goodbye everyone.